The next thing we're going to talk about is toxicity. Whereas nutrition is things that should be in your body, toxicity is things that shouldn't be in your body, but somehow they find their way there. And it's a very, very common problem. A lot of people say, well, I don't drink or smoke, so how can I be toxic? Toxicity is not just drinking and smoking. It comes from the environment. It comes from your work situation, where you live. It can come from really anywhere. And in the office, the cases that we see where people have a lot of the most toxicity problems are the people who work with a lot of chemicals in their work. Hairdressers, auto mechanics, consistently, they always have a lot of toxicity related problems. As it relates to your spine, it can cause a lot of rigidity in the spine. It can leach minerals from the discs, causing a problem with flexibility. It can cause, of course, headaches, a lot of skin problems. Probably the most dramatic cases we see in the office where toxicity is a problem is people who have chronic skin problems, chronic acne, coupled with fatigue. A lot of times these are classic skin problems, and as they clear up, people are really surprised that their skin can clear, that their eyes can clear. There was a great study, it just came out from UCSF. I came across it the other day. It was a study on toxins found in pregnant women. And actually, this was the first time that the number of chemicals in pregnant women were studied. And I, of course, expected there would be some because it's a toxic world. But what was surprising to me about this study is that it says that multiple chemicals, including some banned since the 70s, were found in the blood and urine of U.S. pregnant women. And out of the 163 chemicals tested, 43 of them were found in virtually all of the pregnant women. So even these chemicals, they found a DDT, broken down form of DDT, in almost all of the women, and that's been banned since 1972. So that means that even things that have been banned that we don't use anymore, haven't used for decades, are still getting into our systems and showing up in the blood, and people don't think about these things. When they think of toxins, they think of just deliberately inhaling something or standing behind a bus exhaust fume, but it's all over the place. It's in the water, it's in the food supply, it's in the little plastic that you unwrap when you're taking things out of packages. And the skin is very porous, and the lungs are very porous. So it's a problem for everybody, and not just people who smoke and drink. So in this office, there's different ways that we address the toxicity issue. One of the gentlest things that we use is homeopathy, which is time tested. It's been around for more than 200 years, and it helps the body to pull toxins out. Sometimes if people have a bigger toxicity issue, we might have them do a fast or a cleanse, restricting their diet to just really clean fruits and vegetables for a little while, letting their body dump out some of the toxins. And depending on what the lifestyle situation is, that's going to determine how much of a focus that you would need to put on the toxicity. So if you live somewhere where the air is bad, somewhere where there's a valley, or you're right near a freeway, you're always going to have to address this base. If you're in a job where you're always exposed to some kind of chemical toxicity, you're always going to have to address this base. So it's one of the cornerstones of health, and it's one of the things that we teach patients about in this office, and I think it's important for everybody to think about these days.